Wilson, man, I'm excited about this one. This is a big boy competition right here. Hey guys and girls, welcome. Welcome to New Stuff TV, the untechnical tech channel. I'm your host, Antoine. I could pull your auntie and have her calling me Daddy Richardson. And today we got a big boy contest for you, man. It's the battle for your ear holes with the brand new, well, they're slightly new, Sennheiser Momentum 4 and the Sony XM5s. They're the WH-1000 or WH-1000XM5. Yeah, whatever. I gotta tell you right now, this could get a little long because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to these headphones. So buckle up, grab your popcorn, and let's just chill out and talk about this. Now look here, man. Both of these companies decided to do away with folding and having travel size balled up headphones, all right? So they both lay flat inside of their cases. The cases are pretty much made out of the same material, which is a quality material. However, Sony's case has an origami type of side and it squishes onto your $400 headphones. That's right, I said $400. And Sennheiser's $350 headphones sit right in here. And surprisingly, they both lay flat, but Sony's case is just bigger, man. It's taller and wider, and it's the same as the Sennheiser as far as thickness, but it narrows down right here. So in the world of portability and travel size, I got to give this to Sennheiser, even though neither one of them actually fold. I'm also giving Sennheiser a point for including this travel adapter right here, this airplane adapter. But seriously, man, if you don't have one of these by now, after you've been watching this channel for all these years, then shame on you, because these have come in pretty much every one up until these recent times, man. So this has never been a big concern of mine, but whatever, some people still like it. But then you have this proprietary cable right here. This is like a 2 something millimeter proprietary cable. Well, it's not proprietary, it's just smaller than your average 3.5. So you just can't go grabbing something, out of your little, bin and just plugging it into your earbuds or headphones. You got to have the right one. Now, what else we get in here? Just some documents and stuff. Then you get your USB-C charging cable right there. Now, moving on to Sony, they give you a nice little compartment to hide your little accessories, which they only give you two of, which is your standard 3.5 millimeter cable, and then as well as your USB-C charging cable, which is actually a lot shorter than your Sennheiser cable. But that's all right, because I usually have something already plugged in because I'm using it with my phone anyways. Close that up, and that is all we'll talk about as far as the cases. So I'm gonna take these out of their cases and we will not see them return again for the rest of this video. Bruh, when you pick up the Sonys out of the case, all you feel is comfort. I mean, it's a quality feel, but the thing that stands out to most to me about Sony's headphones right now are the comfort. It's just all comfort, 360 degrees around, from the nice thick headband right there that's wrapped in this nice soft vinyl right here, or leather, whatever you want to call it. But then you got these ear pads that are super plush and super wide, so your ears can just stick in there and have a good time. And then it's just this nice soft touch coating all the way around. But when you grab the Sennheisers, the thing that screams at you is build quality. These things have a nice solid build quality. So we're still talking, nice expensive feelings that you got when you hold each product in your hand. But Sennheiser wins it hands down with this nice headband with this canvas on the top. You got your nice logo right there. I don't know if this is actually metal or aluminum or not, but man, it just feels like quality. This is not a soft touch kind of stuff. It's just a matte finish on a plastic. Then you got your ear pads right there. They are not as comfortable and plush or even as open as the Sonys, but they are very comfortable. But that's what I'm talking about when you feel the headphones. You feel quality here, like solid build quality. And then when you pick these up, you feel build quality, but they're ultra light and they feel comfort. So in regards to which one feels better, it depends on who you are. Do you really want more comfort, or do you really want to feel a better build quality? I don't think either one of these are going to be destroyed anytime soon. They both have a good solid construction. They can take the test, you know what I'm saying? They can take some damage. But I did work out in these headphones yesterday, or no, I didn't work out. I washed my car with the Sony XM5s on yesterday, and I was sweating like crazy. And I took them off and sweat was just pouring out. And then I noticed that the wearing detection, when you take them off your head and they stop playing and then they start playing, that wasn't working anymore. They just kept playing. Like, I guess there was a bubble of sweat caught up in there somewhere. So I'm assuming that same thing will happen in your Sennheisers because they do have the wearing detection. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that both of these should not be worn out or worn while working out. They are not like workout headphones. These are more on the audiophile, expensive dude kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't be working out in this kind of stuff. It's just too nice. You know what I'm saying? You might drop it or leave it at the gym, God forbid. But yeah, as far as durability, yeah, keep these away from sweat and water. When it comes to control, Sony has always done it well, in my opinion, with their right ear cup. They used to have an NFC tag on the left, but they have taken that away. Oh man, I wish they'd bring that back. But they have all the controls sitting here, where you will double tap for play and pause. You swipe up and down for volume, left and right to control your tracks, and then you can palm that cover or palm that outside for some ambient sound. And that is all you're gonna have on that ear cup. But then you have two buttons right here on the bottom, which are gonna control your power and your Bluetooth pairing, as well as your noise canceling and ambient sound. Sennheiser opted to have only one button, and that button functions as a Bluetooth pairing button, a power button, and your Google Assistant button. But here's where they decided to just really whoop up on Sony, man. They are thrashing Sony in the controls department. And I'm not sure if it's actually a good thing or a bad thing or just a thing, but it just, I guess it depends on how it's gonna work in the long term, because you can swipe up and down for volume, forward and back for tracks, and then of course your play and pause with your double taps and stuff like that. But they also allow you to press and hold, or I'm sorry, they allow you to expand and pinch your fingers for active noise cancellation via how much you want, as well as ambient sound. You can just pinch, open and close, and you'll see that once we get into the app. And that's actually pretty sweet, but I don't know how functional that's really gonna be. I'm just glad that they actually decided to do something like that. I've never seen that before in a set of headphones, so I think it's really innovative that they decided to do it. And as far as controls, they are whooping up on Sony. It's not even a contest as far as controls. Another area where Sennheiser establishes dominance over Sony is battery life, which could be a really key area for a lot of people, because Sennheiser is giving you 60 hours, and they're claiming that's with ANC on, as opposed to Sony's 30, which was really good for a while back and even in today's standards, but 60, dang man. The Momentum 4 also has this nice little trick where you pick them up and they automatically turn on and pair to your phone once you've actually got them paired for the first time. But also figured out something really cool. If you take them off your head and then lay them flat so they'll turn off, they won't actually turn off. They'll be on standby for like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, and then they'll turn off. But if you actually have the case with you, what happens is you take them off your head, they will not go in standby until, or I'm sorry, they will go in standby until you close this case. Once you close this case, they actually turn off and disconnect from your phone. So that's a clutch feature right there. I don't know how many of you actually put your headphones in the case after each use, but that's a cool feature that they actually kind of interact with being covered up like that. So as we get into the app, Sony has some stuff locked down, man, and I'm loving it. I'm always here for it when it comes to Sony's app control in their headphones. Right now we're working with adaptive sound control, and it has me in staying, so it has, you can get in here and kind of customize it to do whatever you want to in a particular environment, or depending on what you're doing. And I'm letting Sony take control of that for me. But let's slide over to the sound department. That way we can see some other controls. You see here, you have your ambient sound, noise control, or noise cancellation and off, and you can kind of just slide to give it how much you want. I want ambient sound right now, and I don't want to focus on voice because we've talked about that before. But as this goes down, you'll see some other features like speak to chat, meaning that if you have your headphones on and you just rocking out to some tunes, somebody says something to you, or you just need to listen to something that's going on, you just, as soon as you start talking, the ambient sound kicks in, the music cuts off. Okay, it doesn't attenuate and disturbs you while you're trying to listen to whatever somebody else is saying. It actually cuts off and lets you hear that conversation or whatever you're listening to. But remind you, you do have the quick attention right here still. And then you have your EQ. This is where it gets kind of interesting in the competition, because with Sony, you have two customs that you can set up, and then you have off, bright, excited, mellow, relaxed, vocal, and treble boost and bass boost. And inside of each one, you can go and kind of customize it and even add some extra bass if you want to, which will actually toggle it to manual. Then you can go in here and set up a 360 audio setup, which is partnered up with a couple of other really expensive apps that probably nobody really uses. So I'm not even going to go into that. Okay. Then you can go in here and focus on sound priority or sound priority or a stable connection. I always keep mine on stable or sound priority because I like using LDAC. But Sony does support a lot of other codecs as well, which is something we're going to have to talk about when it comes to being connected to two devices at the same time. Sony can do it, but you have to turn LDAC off. The Sennheisers do not support LDAC, so they can just do it. They just connect to two devices at the same time for phone calls or music, whichever. Now, when we get into the system, you have some other stuff that you can do here. You see where it says connect two devices simultaneously, and it gives you that option. That's where it tells you if you can do that or not. Then you can kind of program your voice assistant here. You can turn off your touch panel, and you can tell the quick button what to do if you have Spotify, so you can have that quick access. I don't use Spotify, so I don't use this. I wish Sony would actually let you customize this to do something else or interact with maybe another music service such as YouTube Music or something like that. But to have this button actually dead after you know you can connect it to Spotify, I think that's kind of cheesy. Sony, you need to fix that, man. Let's get out of here before I get upset. But then you got your other settings here, which kind of lets you almost customize the use of your headphones. Circling back to the beginning of the Sony app, Sony also lets you kind of detect where you are. It'll use the maps and everything to kind of figure out where you are and what environment you're in, so it can automatically do your adaptive noise control. So if you're always in the gym and you're turning on ambient sound because you want to hear what's going on in the gym behind you and around you, it will automatically go into that based on your environment. Or if you're going to, I don't know, maybe a library or something like that, and you want it on noise cancellation, it'll do that for you because it now remembers that you're at the library. Now, moving on to the Sennheiser app, there's a lot going on this home page here. They like just throw everything at you at one time. You see I'm connected there, you see your battery life, and then you can see your connection management on that tab. And let's go back because now we got to get into the EQ because it's next. So we'll get into the EQ, and they only give you 3 bands, which I'll be honest with you, man, I don't even mess with it because it sounds fantastic right out of the box, man. Don't mess with this. The only thing you're gonna need to do is go in here and just toggle up this bass boost, and then let Sennheiser do the rest of the work, man. These Sennheisers sound good. We'll get into that in a moment, but I'm just gonna let you know, don't be messing around in here. It ain't no need to do that. But in case you do, you have a podcast mode, which kind of pulls a lot of bass out and brings the voices in. And of course, you can go in here and name your presets or mark new presets as you make different ones, as far as the custom goes. But like I said, don't be worried about that. Now, sound check. Sound check is something you can go into and kind of just do an adaptive hearing session. All right. I didn't need to do that because, like I said, it felt and sounded great to me right out of the box. So if you want to get in here and do this stuff, by all means, they have it there for you. I just don't think you're going to need to because Sennheiser, they just do it right out of the box. Now, this is something very similar to Sony, which is sound zones. Okay. This is just like I told you about. When you get into there, they're gonna kind of know where you are, okay? And then what happens then is they actually adjust your EQ. So they got a leg up on Sony, man. They will adjust your EQ based off of what you're doing or where you're doing it at. So that's a huge plus on the Sennheiser Momentum 4 side because I think that's a super clutch feature, man. Like if you walked into the gym, like let's say you were just listening to some jams, just being casual, right? So you didn't need a lot of bass. And then you walk into the gym, the headphones know you're in the gym, all of a sudden that bass gets cranked up and it's like, whoa, all right, let's go. I like that. Good looking out, Sennheiser. But then let's get into the active noise cancellation because that's pretty much what makes these headphones so expensive. So we get in here, and like I said, you can kind of pinch and open up, and you'll see that your active noise cancellation is getting, I have it on adaptive now. Let's take that adaptive off, and then we'll just pinch. Let me see. Can I pinch? I pinched. Now I'm opening up. Yeah, there it is. I'm opening up. And I mean, it's working, but it's not like, I got the ambient sound now. I'm playing. Yeah, you end up doing all kinds of weird stuff to your headphones because I just started playing the music and I didn't want to. So let me pinch, go back into ANC. You see, it's working now. So I guess it's just some muscle memory thing you gotta get used to. But I'm gonna keep it in transparency and I'll keep the adaptive off. Adaptive actually works pretty good, but I'll be honest with you, man. When it comes to active noise canceling, I really don't think anyone does it better than Sony. It's just Sony's business. Active and adaptive noise cancellation is just Sony's business, and that's where Sony whips up on Sennheiser. But you are getting fantastic active noise cancellation with the Sennheisers. It's just not as good as the Sonys. Now, we'll get into side tone because to me, that's important. If you're going to be taking a phone call with these things, you do want some ambient sound coming in. Well, some people might not. I don't know what's wrong with you. But me, I want ambient sound coming in as I'm talking on the phone. That way the conversation feels more natural and I don't have to shout because I feel like my ears are plugged up. In the case of the Sony, you can just activate ambient sound. It's not called side tone. You just activate ambient sound and you're getting it. All right, so we got on head detection, which we've talked about. Comfort call. What is comfort call? I don't even know what that is. Smart pause. It pauses the music when your headphones are taken off. But what is this? Wait a minute. Okay, let's look at this together. We got on head detection, enable smart pause, hold calls automatically in power saving mode. Okay, but then smart pause says pauses music when the headphones are taken off and resumes when they're put back on. It's kind of like one and the same thing, don't you think? I don't know, but they've separated it here. Man, that's where we get into sound because, oh man, let me tell you something about these Sennheisers, man. I'll just take them off my head for right now. Look, man, in the ANC and comfort department, Sony is whooping up on the Sennheiser Momentum 4s. But when it comes to sound, I don't think Sony has ever beat Sennheiser. Sennheiser destroys the XM5s. The Momentum 4 destroys the XM5. And when I say destroy, I'm just talking about with like, you know, like the highs, like the highs it can reach and that bass, that dynamic bass. The first song I listened to, oh man. The thump that I got out of these things was so freaking good. I was like, whoa. And then I was like, all right, these can't sound that much better than my Sony. So I went to the Sonys and went into the app and EQ'd them up and everything. I got more bass, but let me tell you, it was nowhere near the same as that thump. You know what I'm saying? It was just a hard thump that I was getting out of these Momentum 4s. So as far as sound quality goes, I have to hand it to Sennheiser for doing a fantastic job and giving me the sound quality I wanted personally. Now it's gonna differ for everybody because sound quality is subjective, but as far as sound quality goes, I gotta hand it to Sennheiser. They do the best job as far as just range altogether, the highs, the mids, and definitely those lows, man. They give you that bass, but they make it so clean. It's very clean. It's even when you do the bass boost and everything, it's very clean bass. And I just love the sound that I'm getting out of these things. But that brings me to making a decision. You got to make a decision which headphones you want to buy or keep. We're talking $350 here. We're talking $400 for the Sonys. I've told you the differences in the cases, how you transport them. Comfort is a big one for me. Comfort is huge when it comes to over-ear headphones and even earbuds, man, comfort. So in the world of comfort, Sony is killing it, man. These things are ultra light, super comfortable. They just kind of lay on your head like two very, very soft pillows. Whereas the Sennheisers, they do clutch around my ears and I feel like I have headphones on, which is not a problem. They're comfortable, just nowhere near as comfortable as the Sonys. Now, when it comes to sound quality, if that's literally the only thing that matters to you, Sennheiser is killing it. Sennheiser is killing it. And that's really all I have to say about the Sennheisers, that they got a lot of controls, which I actually like. I'm not sure if I'm used to it yet, but they have a lot of controls here. You know, you can interact with your headphones. They don't have very much customization as far as your sound goes in the EQ, but I don't really think you need it, man. It sounds so good out of the box. Man, which one you rolling with, man? This is tough. I'm just glad I got both of them so I can do whatever the hell I want to. I'm just saying they're both great headphones. You know, I'm no expert in this kind of stuff, but what I do know is if it jams, turn that shit up, man. That's all I gotta say about that. Y'all keep being good to each other, and I'll see you when I see you.